Hello, beautiful people. Okay, so you've seen the Relatable guides and you've tried really hard to Zuck, but you're having a hard time surviving and you've found yourself kind of stuck? I remember what it was like to learn. If you're a baby legend, you just might not know exactly what I mean for you to do when I say you need a devotion or rezo. So here's a guide for wielding your shield to tank big hits and not get kneeled, to eat less food and get big heals. You're a certified legend, so I know you can do it. Sit back, relax, and let's get down to it. Okay, so first let's talk about damage. You know, the delicious pain cakes that we eat for breakfast. So there's different types of damage in RuneScape, right? Core damage, soft typeless damage, and hard typeless damage. We do not like it hard. Understanding how damage works will help us know which defensive abilities will protect us when we're in a hot, spicy boss encounter. Okay, so core damage is regular hits that you get from anything that hits you. Magic, melee, range attacks. Got it. So what is typeless damage? Wow, I'm so glad you asked. It's damage that doesn't have any type. Now that that's clear, no, I'm just kidding. Typeless hits you even if you're using protection prayers. No one said protection is 100% effective, but that does not mean that you shouldn't use it. Remember when I said there's two types of typeless damage? Well, those types tell you what kind of defensive abilities can save you from doom. I don't know why I was so happy when I said that. Soft typeless damage can be reduced by abilities like Resonance, Debilitate, Reflect. Easy. Hard typeless damage is bad vibes. Almost nothing can save you from it. You're gonna want to do something like Barricade to survive. Okay, now that you definitely, totally, for sure, 100% understand what the different types of damage are in the game, let's start with defensive abilities that do not require you to use a shield. That's right, you heard me. No shield switch. Let's start with Devotion. Devotion is going to be your best friend in so many places. You're going to need level 1 defense and 50% adrenaline if you want to cast this bad boy. So what does it do? Well, if you're praying against the attack correctly, core damage, it reduces the damage that you receive to 1 for 9.6 seconds, so kind of a quickie, but everyone knows that quickies are kind of good. And if you kill multiple enemies while it's active, it can be extended up to 19.2 seconds. 19 seconds is a long time for most people. Now, you're not just going to find this ability in your defensive ability spot. Section. The place where you find your defensive abilities. So how do you get it? Well, you have two options. First, you can take your big booty DPS down to God War Dungeon 1 and kill Kriara, Grar, or their followers outside of the boss instance, and eventually, by magic, you will learn it without even having to read anything. Not assuming I know how to read? Now that's my kind of video game. If you don't want to fight for it, you can go to the Anima Islands Distraction and Diversion over on Tusca and spend a few hours there, buy it from the shop, bada bing, bada boom. That's what I did forever ago, it feels like now. I want to say it took me maybe like 2 or 3 hours, but you know, everything in hindsight doesn't feel as bad as it was in the actual moment, so if it takes longer than that, please don't at me. You might like trying this ability out at Carapac literally anytime during the kill because Carapac is spicy, and Zammy against the melee hit, or even in Glacier to save yourself from certain doom when that cannon blasts you in the face. Take 1 damage, laugh at the boss, and keep on doing your thingy thing. Okay, moving on. Anticipation is a basic ability that requires level 3 defense. It reduces damage received by 10%, and you become immune to stuns for 10 seconds. It will not clear a stun if it's already affecting you. Like, if you're stunned, you cannot use Anticipation to get rid of that. So, you kind of have to be able to see the future when you use this ability. Just kidding! But it does take some practice to learn when you should use it. For example, it's great if you teleport to Infernus and Zammy because the witches have more stuns than a troll at Yaka. It'll keep a Raxor from pulling you in close for the sweet hug of death. And before Telos yells hold still and curb stomps you, you can use anticipation to keep that from happening. Next, let's talk about freedom. Freedom is another basic ability, defense ability, I cannot talk today, that requires level 34 defense to use. What it does is turn you into an escape artist. It removes all active stuns. That's right, if you're already stunned, it'll make you not be stunned anymore. It also gets rid of bleeds and makes you immune to stuns for 6 seconds. None of these abilities last long, but they're not here for a long time, they're here for a good time. You could give Freedom, why did I just sigh? You could give Freedom a try at Carapac if you don't have the Pontifex Shadowring upgraded and the Stompy Stomps are stomping a little too hard. You can free yourself from the ice prison at Nax, well, get unstuck and eat up. Or you can use Freedom to keep yourself from getting buried by roots at Solak. Oh yeah. Next, let's talk about our friend Debilitate. Debilitate requires level 55 defense and 50% of your hard-earned adrenaline. It ups your ability damage a little bit, and even better, it reduces damage that you take by 50% for up to 13.8 seconds, so specific, depending on the level of the shield that you're using. That's right, level matters, and if she tells you it doesn't, she's not telling you the truth. But wait, there's more! Well, I guess I already told you this, but Debilitate will reduce soft typeless damage. Huzzah! So you might think about using Debilitate while zucking to save some of your precious sharks, Zammy before you pop a bomb on the last pad you charge, or maybe in Raksha to avoid getting absolutely smacked by the falling rocks. Okay, we're going to get a little fancy with him on this one. Disruption Shield is a level 90 defensive that you unlock through Livid Farm, and it also requires you to be on the Lunar Spellbook. It makes the next core damage or soft typeless damage hit that you take feel like a wet noodle hitting your arm. And you all know what that means. And for those of you who don't, that means you won't take any damage from the hit. You could use this ability to tank the bomb dropped on you while you're zucking, to avoid getting hit by the Twin Furies bomb, or even in No Bad to cancel out that spicy Soul Blast hit. And finally, Provoke requires 24 defense, and if you use it, your target focuses on you. If you love being the center of attention, you're going to love this ability. So why might you want the boss to focus on you? Let me tell you, if you're tanking and the boss gets fresh with your partner, you can use Provoke to get the boss back on you. There's also a few niche places where you should use this ability. For example, in Cowfight King, there's literally a role for voking. Also, side note, all the cool cats and kittens call this ability Voke. Now let's talk about some of the defensive abilities that require you to become a turtle. And by that, I mean put on a shield. And yes, you're going to need to keep the shield on for these things to work. So do not unequip it until the ability is over. Trust me, there is nothing like accidentally unequipping your shield right before what you think will be a big resonance heal. Anyways, well, now that I've gone on and talked about it, let's go ahead and go over resonance. Resonance requires level 48 defense, and in case it wasn't clear, you're gonna want to put a shield on for this one. Resonance is a very important ability, and it's also kind of cool. What it does is the next hit that you take that deals core damage will heal you instead of hurt you. Soft typeless damage will hit you 0. That's right, nothing. Maybe try it out against Sanctum Guardian to tell us Water Attack to take a hike during the Flurry mechanic and Glacier to get a big heal, or to protect yourself against the So Much Power at Telos. Next we have Reflect. Reflect requires 50% adrenaline and 37 defense, as well as, you guessed it, equipping a shield. It lasts for 10 seconds, which I'm sure we could all have seen coming if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, it reduces core damage and soft typeless damage by 50%. You can use Reflect whenever you want to eat less damage. Try it out in combination with Debilitate when Ambassador calls out your name and you're in the trenches with no devotion. Use it at Barricade to tank the poison hits, or in Carapac to save you from being chewed up and spit out by his auto attacks when he gets spicy in phase 4. Alright, let's talk about the big booty defensive abilities. Barricade is an ultimate ability, which means it's going to use up 100% of your hard-earned adrenaline. It requires level 81 defense and, that's right, a shield. What a surprise! When you activate this bad boy, you become immune to all types of damage for up to 10 seconds depending on the level of the shield that you use. What did I tell you earlier, boys? Level matters. Now, let's talk about what I like to call Barricade math. So, it can be extended up to 13.8 seconds with the turtling perk, and further extended up to 17.4 seconds if you have Malatops in your farm at Anachronia. Maybe consider doing one of those things because all those seconds really add up and make for a great time PVMing. You could use Barricade at Carapac to survive the triple magic wall of doom, or with the time warp to double Barricade and tank all the hits when you are down bad, or during the final challenge wave at Zuck to get through it easy peasy lemon squeezy. And last but not least, there's Immortality. This is another ultimate ability, all your adrenaline, that requires level 29 defense and, following the trend of this section, a shield. Wow! Immortality is pretty dang cool. So, it reduces core and soft typeless damage by 25% for 30 seconds. Okay, that's not that cool. I mean, it's nice, but here's the cool bit. If you die while Immortality is active, it brings you back to life. Now that's pretty stinking cool. You can use Immortality to survive the smoke bomb at Sammy, to cheat death inside of the ice prison at Nex, or to say no thank you to the insta-kill mechanic in Phase 5 Telos, low in rage. And that's it. Well, that's the main ones. Now you have the skills to get the job done. No more dying to Zuck, no more hullabaloo. When you're in a tight spot, you'll know what to do. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. Like, subscribe, share, and recommend. Be kind to one another. See you next time, friends.